Sword and Shield alt art cards are dropping in price, but what are the top 10 most expensive Pokemon alt art cards from the Sword and Shield era? Well, today we'll be going through all of the top 10 with some honorable mentions. Let's get into it. So, top 10 Pokemon alt arts from the Sword and Shield era. It's actually been a while since I did a video on this. It was back in January, right at the beginning of the year when I did a video on this, going through the top 10 most expensive alt arts. Now, we're taking a look at the Sword and Shield era. Now, we know the Sun and Moon era has been going absolutely crazy with these insane alt arts, but we're not including those today. We're just looking at the top 10 most expensive Sword and Shield ones. Now, it's been interesting because all of them are dropped in price, which is pretty mad. So we're taking a look at TCG Player today at all of the different prices. There have been some big, heavy movements between pretty much all of them. But first, let's get into today's sponsor, lowpoppin.market. If you are on the hunt for big top end graded cards, they have you covered. From PSA 10s to Beckett Black Labels, guys, they have it all for you. They have all of their stock listed over on their Instagram page, so you can go through and browse through their entire catalog of amazing graded cards. I mean, they are absolutely fantastic. If you necessarily don't have the funds right now, they can also buy your collections from you guys to help get the cards that you want to get hold of. But not only do they buy collections, but they also do trades as well. We all know we like trading, but they also accept trades towards the cards that you want to get. If you don't have the cash right now, buy the cards that you want. And on top of that, they also accept multiple payment methods and international shipping. Hey, I'm over here in the UK, so that's great news for me. So if you're looking at picking up some of these cards, or you just want to check out their store, make sure to click on the link in the description below. Head on over to their Instagram page and their store, drop them a follow, and go and take a look. Alright, let's get into the video. Getting knocked out of the top 10, start us off with the Charizard VOR. You may be thinking, what? This is not even in the top 10. No, this was in the top 10 and it got knocked out. This goes to show how much stuff has been moving, and with the reprint / restocks of Brilliant Stars have had a massive impact on the big boy Charizard. You know, Charizard was a huge card. I actually thought this was going to be more expensive than the Umbreon. Man, I got that wrong, right? But this has been dropping in price. We take a look at this, $125 right now on TCG Player. So now I said I did this video back in January, right? We're coming to the end of September. All right, let's take a look at where it was when I last did it. So we go back a year. We can see, all right, so January, we're looking at around about $175. So when the last time I did this video, this card dropped about $50 since. That's actually quite a big drop. I mean, even just looking at this chart over the past year, we can see it as a high of over 200, maybe, yeah, 210. How about that? So it's seen dropped $100 since then. Will this card continue to drop? I kind of feel like it might do. But the thing is I don't see there being any more reprints of Brilliant Stars. It is getting quite a bit old now, and means we're deep into now the Scarlet and Violet territory. I do feel like, as it is Charizard, it will bounce back, but it is selling for, well, under 125, as we can see from the latest sales. But yeah, this card's been dropping, so dropped $50 since the last time I did this video. Doesn't even make the top 10. Okay, coming number 10, we have the Sylveon VMAX alt art. Now, I love this card. It's my favorite card from Evolving Skies. Beautiful, stunning card. However, we're coming number 10 at $128. Now, let's put this into perspective, okay? The lowest value alt art we have on this list is the Sylveon, $128. That is still more than any card in the Scarlet and Violet era so far. The Ionos are the most expensive. We'll have to wait and see how things go moving forward. Sylveon, we're looking at Sword and Shield. Doing okay, you know, has been dropping though, like everything else has. $128. Let's go back to see what it was back in January. So let's take a look. Back in January, not much has changed, to be honest. We're looking around what, 140. So it's dropped around about $11 to $12. That's actually not that bad compared to, as we saw with Charizard. So this was probably more further down the list in my top 10 most expensive, but it's still sitting at number 10 at $120 in Evolving Skies. Even though Evolving Skies prices are going up, single cards has been dropping. But yeah, coming number 10 at $128. Alright, number 9 now, we have the Espeon VMAX alt art from Fusion Strike at $133, or basically $134 for this card. Now let's go back a year. I don't know if this actually made the top 10. I think it did, ever so slightly. So we go back in January, probably around about 165. So yeah, definitely would have been in the top 10. Has been dropping. Fusion Strike, you know, booster boxes going up in price. Stuff set to get these big massive pulls on, as we've seen so many times. We've never pulled this card. You know, big set. But yeah, I think this is going to be one that will do well in the future. But right now it has been dropping alongside pretty much all the other Sword and Shield era arts. Next up, we got another card from Evolving Skies. Now, Evolving Skies does have so many big, top, heavy hitting cards. We have the Leafeon VMAX alternate art coming in at $143 for this one. Let's have a look, see what it got back in January. So back in January, probably looking around 160 to 170. So again, it's dropped around about 20, 25 dollars or so for this card. And over the past year, hasn't really done a huge amount. You know, been going up and down, but only recently have we seen this big steep drop, you know, from as high as about 170 to 140. Like I say, anything, you know, Sword and Shield, especially Evolving Skies, has been dropping in value, so that's actually quite interesting. Okay, moving on to Silver Tempest now. We have the Lugia V Alt Art coming at $144 for this one. So going back at the beginning of the year, we can see where was this card? Maybe January, $200. Wow. It's dropped over nearly $60. Wow, yeah, basically $60 since January. So Silver Tempest just recently had a reprint. Of course, we had all those like God packs that happened, which probably would have some effect on the value of the big cards, you know, from Silver Tempest. But this is still a beautiful card, not easy to pull indeed. You know, and as we can see, let's go back over the last, say, like 3 months. This card has been kind of going up and down, bouncing around that 130 to 150 for the longest time. But it is a gorgeous card. But yeah, wow, it has dropped a fair amount, $60 since the start of the year, since I last did the video. That's insane. Right, back to Evolving Skies. We've got the Glaceon VMAX Alt Art. This one's actually been going up, which is actually quite surprising. So this is one of the few that's actually been going up in value at 145, only a little bit more than the Lugia, of course. We go back a year. Okay, let's see where it was when I last did it, about 154. So this one's actually, so far, the best. It has dropped, but it's the best performing one. Only dropping around about $10, which is actually pretty good going. Look, as we can see, it's been pretty stable, if not going up, over the past, you know, 6 months or so. So it's been doing really well actually compared to all the other cards we've already seen, not just from Evolving Skies, but across the board really. So yeah, pretty big cards, doing really well. I would expect it to continue to rise, and yeah, it's actually doing really well. Flaming Chicken, Blaziken VMAX from Chillin' Rain. This card's been a bit of a weird one, $179, basically $180 right now. It did actually drop over the past 3 months from 216, so it's just been dropping ever since. Where it was a year ago. So actually this one's been doing really well. So a year ago we're looking around 160, so it's gone up a little bit to 180. It did actually fall from its high of 230. Chillin' Rain, you know, booster boxes getting more expensive, it's getting harder to get hold of, pull rates are really bad. This is a big money card, a beautiful card, really colourful. Never pulled it though, but it is a beautiful card nonetheless. Big, doing well, you know, it's doing well. $180, it's actually pretty good going. It's the only card we've had so far that's actually done better since the beginning of the year, which is doing pretty well. There's a lot of hype around Chillin' Rain recently, and this card definitely picked up on that. Then we're going back to Fusion Strike with the Gengar Alt Art VMAX coming in. This one's at $200. Recently it's kind of pretty stable, like bounced around, you know, $5 to $10 difference over the past 3 months. But let's take a look at what it was back earlier in the year. So January, you know, mid-January when I did it, looking at 170. So again, another card that's actually gone up since. Now this is a beautiful card, incredibly difficult to pull, like so difficult, you know, similar to the Espeon, big set, packs getting, you know, more expensive, booster packs, you know, booster boxes in fact, again more expensive, tough pull rates, all of it applies for this set and to this card. But it has actually been going up as well, which is actually very interesting. You know, it's gone up a fair amount really, you know, gone around about $30-40 since the beginning of the year, which is actually very strong. Okay, coming top 3, we have the Rayquaza Alt Art VMAX, $266.84 for this one. As you can see, over the past 3 months, it has been going down recently, not by much, but it has been going down. Let's take a look at what it was a year ago. So around January, we're looking at around about 270. So it's basically the same, a little bit less, but pretty much the same as it was a year ago. It did actually trickle up to $300 and then has dropped down since. Will it go back up to 300? Yeah, I think it'll only be a matter of time. It's Evolving Skies, right? It's the second biggest card in the set. You know, it's not easy to pull, as we know Evolving Skies is really tough. And yeah, I do feel like the Rayquaza will continue to climb and will probably reach that $300 pretty soon, to be fair. Alright, just missing out on the top spot, we have the Giratina V Alt Art from Lost Origin, $266.30 for this one. Even in the past 3 months, you can see what's been going on. It was $310 and it's dropped about $50, $45-50. you know, in the past, what, 2 months, which is actually pretty crazy. Go back a year. What was it a year ago? So a year ago, we're looking at 260. So pretty much the same. I did actually go, like I say, really high up to that 330 mark, but it's been dropping ever since. I think it would take some time for it to get back up there. Don't forget Lost Origin recently got reprinted as well, so that would have a massive impact on the single card prices. But overall, this is a really nice card, very difficult to pull, but it is holding somewhat of a good value to what it was a year ago. Alright guys, you made this far to the video and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash that like button and make sure you subscribe for more Pokemon content, and let me know down in the comments, what do you think number 1 is? I think it's kind of obvious, but let me know if you have any of these cards and what are your thoughts on what's been going on with these alt arts, because they have been dropping in price. We will do a video on the top 10 most expensive alt arts from Sun and Moon era, so make sure to keep an eye out for that one. But overall, a lot of these have gone down. Gengar's done pretty well, the Glaceon's done pretty well, but a lot of them have been dropping in value by a substantial amount. The fact that Charizard can't even make top 10, mental. Alright, let's get into number 1. Number 1, of course, we have the Moonbryon coming in from Evolving Skies. $543 for this one. Over the past 3 months, this card's been dropping a lot. It's dropped from $620, so it's dropped nearly $100. It's dropped $80 in the past 3 months. You know, is the bubble bursting? We have to wait and see. It sure is looking like it. We go back a year when I did the list. Where was it? We're looking at around about $470. So it's up $70 from basically the beginning of the year. But it's the lowest. I mean, it was $650, so it's dropped over $110 since April. So this card is dropping, and as we can see, all the cards from Evolving Skies and pretty much most of the ones from Sword and Shield have been going down in price. We've been seeing the graded version of these dropping as well, which is huge. I mean, I have a PSA 10 one. It's going to be worth a bit less than what it was when I got it graded, which was back in January. So we'll have to wait and see how things are going to go moving forward. This card might even drop to as low as 500. You know, I thought it would reach 700 by the end of the year. You know, look like it was going that way, it being 650 back in April, but really it's taking a bit of a turn, which is actually quite interesting. So there you have it guys, that's what's been going on with the top 10 most expensive alt arts from the Sword and Shield era. No Aerodactyl on this list, no Galarian Moltres, no Machamp either. They just didn't make it. I mean, there are a ton of amazing alt arts, but they're just not close enough to even get to the top 10 right now, because they've also been dropping in value, which is absolutely insane. So if you're missing any alt arts from the Sword and Shield era, now is a really good time to pick them up, because they have been dropping. There are a few which I want to get in my collection I still yet haven't got in my collection, mainly looking at the Espeon from Fusion Strike. But there are a ton of amazing cards in the Sword and Shield era, even though they've been dropping in price. There are some outliers out there with the Gengar and the Glaceon, but pretty much most of them across the board have been dropping in price, which is actually quite interesting. Bearing in mind, booster boxes are going up. But if you haven't got enough of 151 and you want to see me open up the brand new Elite Trainer box, then make sure to click on this video right here. And if you watch more Pokemon content, guys, you know what to do. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright guys, that's it from me in this video. As always, you guys are the legends, and I'll see you in the next one.